Hello everybody, and welcome to my video. My name is Juan Esteban Roa Hernández, and in this video I talk about Thomas Hobbes and his most famous book, The Leviathan. Okay, let's start. Thomas Hobbes was born in the 17th century. He is the son of a clergyman with a stained name, for fighting in bars on Saturdays and seeking good on Sundays. However, Hobbes stands out and manages to enter Oxford, where he will be recognized on the most important philosophers of the time. There he translates the work of Thucydides, where he exposed the dark nature of man and his ambition for power, and not for justice, throughout the Peloponnesian War between Athens and Sparta. In the middle of 7th century, England is in a civil war, so Hobbes, being a member of the crown, flees to France, where there is still a monarchy that provides him with security, and there he will write his most famous work, The Leviathan. With this book, he will defend the monarchy that existed in England, not from a Christian perspective, but a justification and necessity of monarchical power in society. The Leviathan was born from Hobbes' higher education science. When he entered Oxford, he found a curriculum oriented towards the philosophical visions of Aristotle, the Cicero and Stoicism. Then he passed to the very Catholic and reached to the 17th century. But in Leviathan, Hobbes it criticizes all this thinking and reforms it, which is why it's so new. Hobbes will go against two of the ideas of Aristotelian thought: the state of nature and the purpose of the human. Aristotle says that the human being is a political animal, and that the natural thing is that he seeks to form groups, the family, work, and finally the polis, society. However, Hobbes describes this as absurd and says that the human being is born in the state of nature, and this state of nature is for the lonely, mean, cruel human, so it produces fear in individuals. In this state of nature, everyone seeks their own power and their own glory, so a state of war is lived all the time, and that is how, in search of getting out of this state of nature, individuals create the state and feed the monster biblical, the Leviathan. This Leviathan is the collection of signatures that empower the state to protect individuals from the state of nature. In this way, Hobbes justifies the monarchy by indicating that the king is the representation of justice and protection of the state of nature. This is how Hobbes moves away from the long tradition that exists in Europe with Aristotle. On another hand, Hobbes also goes against Aristotle's idea of the end of the human being. Since Aristotle mentions that the end of the human being is a happiness, but not the search for happiness, but the happiness is the last thing in the human being, is the end of it. And for this purpose, there are tools such as money. But Hobbes don't believe in these signs. Happiness is only the desire that we feel towards an object, and as soon as we reach this object, we will never have absolute happiness. For Hobbes, the end of the human is the search for self-interest. As beings that we are born in the state of nature, this is how Hobbes breaks the tradition of natural political state in which men seek to live virtuously. For a state of natural warfare in which men seek to preserve their own interest, thus creating the Leviathan. Finally, seeing human nature, which is the state of war and the search for one's own interest, power must be entrusted to an absolute ruler, who is the king, who must be given total obedience and no type of rebellion. The idea of freedoms becomes only cycle. You are free to obey or not obey, but you assume the punishment. That is the idea of freedom for Hobbes, and the idea for justice is to always obey the existing law imposed by a monarchical sovereign who protects from the state of natural being setting the example of military obedience. A soldier will never go against the order of his captain, and in this way he protects the people. This is how we should not against the monarch who protects peace from the anarchical desires of man. Thank you for watching this video. I hope to come back another time. Bye bye.